This video is brought to you by Recurrent, an essential EV tool that gives free access to TFL EV viewers in the US. With Recurrent, EV shoppers can check range and battery info on used cars. EV owners can connect to compare their range and battery health to similar vehicles. And EV sellers can use Recurrent to get more money for their sales. With Recurrent, we can find, drive, and sell electric cars positively. Click on the link in the description below to get free access to Recurrent's amazing EV tools.
Tommy, you remember the BZ4X, you know, the sister car to the Subaru Solterra, the first mainstream electric car that Toyota introduced in the US? You know that car?
Oh, for sure.
Well, it is right here, except it's lost 2 letters and numbers. So no longer BZ4X, but just BZ.
Yeah, that's right. So the Beyond Zero 4X is now just Beyond Zero, but a much better name. BZ4X was very confusing. Nobody knew what it meant. And
I just got used to it.
What do you mean you just got used to it?
I just got used to saying BZ4X, and now we're just down to BZ. Okay, here it is. Here's the new BZ. And the issue with the BZ was always that it was one generation behind the rest of the industry, right? It didn't charge particularly fast. It didn't have a very long range. The battery was kind of sort of too small. It just was kind of, well, it wasn't quite up to the rest of the industry. But now Toyota has refreshed, dare I say, renewed it.
Yeah, that's right. So we got 2 battery options. We got a bunch of new powertrains in this video. We're going everything you need to know. Now, let's talk about that range. The base model car with front wheel drive has a 57.7 kilowatt hour battery, which should be good for 235 miles. Not that crazy, but most BZs out there are going to have a 74.7 kilowatt hour battery, which are good for up to 314 miles, depending on wheel size and configuration.
That's much better. That's kind of up to the 300 mile standard where we're at right now. Still no frunk.
Nope, no frunk in this model, but we are looking at new electronics, and the new all-wheel drive system is pretty crazy. 50% more power, 338 combined horsepower with a dual motor setup, which is way over the previous model year. So I'm happy to say that Toyota is finally entering into the 21st century with the specs on the BZ4X. If you want to pop that little port open.
Oh, look at that.
Boom.
Surprise. It's a Tesla standard next, in other words.
Yeah, J3400, the North American charging standard. We're also supposed to see some increased charging speeds, although numbers are pretty scant on what that's going to mean. But 10 to 80% should take about 30 minutes. Now, what do you think of the new styling, Dad? It's missing one big thing the old one had.
What's that, a big light bar across the front like every other car now?
No, it still has that if you look closely. It's just hiding. No, it's missing the black cladding. So look along the side here. You can see where it once was. There's like these panels, you can also see it back here, that were once hard black plastic, but now are body colored, and it makes the car look so much better. That's
a little confusing, because if you've been watching TFL AV, you know that we just published a video of the new Toyota CHR, which is all electric, and that has black cladding. So that gained black cladding, but the BZ lost black cladding? Is that where we're at, Tommy?
You got it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I just want to be on the same page with you.
Well, the CHR is an all-new car, also built on the ET-NGA architecture like this one, but that car's standard all-wheel drive. You can still get this car in front-wheel drive. It's up to 221 horsepower instead of 201 if you get the front-wheel drive version.
Well, shall we sit down and explore the interior of the new BZ? Look at that, dual charging ports, Tommy, for your telephone. I like that already.
Yeah, it's about time. You know, we're seeing pretty much every car now have USB-C, but in my mind, that is the new standard. The dual wireless chargers is how it should be, because everyone uses them and they're proven effective.
We have a giant sunroof, so let me see if I can open it, let some light in here. Open. Well, these are pre-production versions, Tommy, and the power is not on. Oh, no, we don't have a key, so
that's
we can't
open
that through.
Yeah.
We do have this very Prius-like gear selector, and then, you know, I like the fact that everywhere I touch we have soft materials, which is very nice. Once again, you have this giant steering wheel with a lot of buttons, which I also like, because it's nice to go back to some buttons, and then you have a big rotary knob for, I'm guessing, tuning. And volume over here, maybe. And what is this one for?
No, those are your climate control knobs.
Okay, oh, so this is passenger And driver and passenger temperature, volume. Gotcha.
Yeah, you got it. And then I really like this dash design. They've also kind of changed around the instrument cluster. So the old one you'd look through kind of this tunnel at the driver's screen there. Now it's just kind of a flat panel located there in front of the steering wheel, which is good. The seats, really nice two-tone material.
You know why this is? This is straight out of the Prius, right? It's for old people like me who have a hard time focusing on two things at once.
Now this car is...
I'm kidding. Who have a hard time changing focus from way out there to way in here.
It's got the JBL premium sound in here as well. But there is one button in here that looks kind of out of place for Toyota. Can you tell me what that is?
Oh, does it look like a Subaru button?
It does look like a Subaru button.
The power is definitely Toyota. I'm looking for it. You got me guessing, Tommy. They all look like these switches are definitely Toyota, the paddle shifters. Oh, are you saying the X mode? Very good, Tommy. Look, it's got the X mode, which I don't think anybody knows what it does, but it's supposed to be good for off-road.
Yeah, so that kind of adjusts throttle programming, it adjusts traction control programming.
So you say.
Yeah, to help with all-terrain performance, which is cool. You also have, look at this, we still have the under steering wheel knee heaters, which is pretty cool. One over here as well, so you can keep your legs nice and warm like that. The only car to offer that feature, by the way.
It is an interesting feature, and for all of you like me who have cold knees, you are now sitting in the right car.
Should we check out the back seats?
Yeah, let's check out the back
seats. Let's see how you fit back there.
By the way, Tommy, I wasn't joking when I said it's a mystery what the X mode does, because I know what it's
not a mystery.
I know what it's supposed to do, but in real life, does it actually do it? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm sure everybody will be like, yeah, I got stuck and I pressed X mode and I was able to climb up Mount Everest. Let me know. All right, so plenty of room actually for my head and my knees. So I would say winner, chicken dinner. It doesn't have that slope back like the CHR. But it does have a lot of room back here. Look at all this room, Tommy.
Pretty
Holy
good.
Cow. Yeah, this is spacious.
We also have dual air vents and 2 heated seats for the outboard passengers. This car is a nice upgrade, I think, overall, and I'm really excited to check out the mechanicals because the AC charger has also gotten quite a bit quicker. Now it's got 11 kilowatt AC charging.
Well, let's talk, me and you, okay? The problem with the BZ4X was that the only reason you bought it was because it was a Toyota. In other words, all of the other things like the charging curve, the size of the battery, the range were not up to par. And the reason you went in and bought it was because it was a Toyota and you had this idea that it would last a long time. Finally, now the car has gotten kind of on par with where the rest of the industry is at. And I applaud Toyota for making a much more serious effort with the second generation of BZ, Tommy.
And let's go ahead and pop open the trunk. We can check out the rear end design.
Oh, look at the size of that spoiler, huh?
So there's that new logo, right? Just says BZ now, Beyond Zero. And then you can see if it's all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive down here.
You think that when the designer of this logo got the job, he was like, do I have to really put in the hours or do I just get rid of the 4X and call it done?
Well, I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, that's a pretty funny pickle he's in.
All right, let's see how much room is back there. This is a limited, so this would be the top of the line.
Yep, JBL premium sound system. You got our built-in subwoofer here. This is awesome, by the way. I love this. 1,500 watts of onboard power. So if you want to go camping or use this to power, like a fridge or something, you can do that. You got your button there to turn that on and off. You got your little view blocker, and then if I push this switch here, we can fold the seat like that, and it is just a little bit of a lip up.
Which is never good for camping. And over here you have your regular wall charger. I bet you that also does level 2.
And I think they do now. This is level 2, yes, which is quite good. So, pretty standard trunk area in the BZ4X, but I think as a whole, there are some pretty big improvements with this new model.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually test it and see if Toyota has given it some electric, I'm going to say cojones, but Nathan says that, so I shouldn't steal that from him.
Well, 0 to 60 time should be a couple seconds quicker.
That's pretty impressive.
Than the old one with that new 338 horsepower powertrain. The one thing I think it's missing is the new Lexus RZ, which we're going to check out here shortly, has the simulated shifting. You can actually pull the paddles and shift quote-unquote gears, but that never didn't make it to the the new Toyota BZ.
But it may still. You don't know.
It may still.
You like this new Toyota lighting pattern? This has become a thing right here with this kind of boomerangy almost. I like it, where you've got kind of this floating little trident-like nose.
And then you've got your main headlight beam located down there. So folks, let us know what you think of the all-new Toyota BZ in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm going to be calling it the BZ4X. You know that, Tommy. It's stuck in your head, huh? It is tattooed in my brain, and it's going to take me at least 4 years before I figure it out. As always, Tommy, this is Roman.
And Tommy, head over to alltfl.com. We got more videos for you coming soon.
Ciao.